people were talking about this last week, but I guess it just broke today because their Kickstarter started and ended, or funded, I guess, which is why we're going to talk about it. It's the OUYA. You guys hear about this thing?
I just tried to look at that today. OUYA.
Is that the sound Randy Macho Man Savage makes?
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
So it's an Android-based game console. They're trying to make this open thing.
$100.
$100. It's like it's a Tegra 3 with 1 gig of RAM. So it seems like it would be a really good streaming box. Like you don't want to run XBMC.
They're pitching it as that, right?
They're kind of pitching it primarily on the game stuff.
I saw something on there about like streaming Twitch channels.
Oh,
and stuff
yeah.
that.
I think they would have an app for
I think
Twitch.
what it was like watch esports without a computer.
Yes, that is. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. That is what they're saying. Like, yeah, watch esports with Twitch. Like, sure, yeah, absolutely.
I think all the games.
I think with it being an open system like Android, then at that point someone can just port XBMC to it.
Sure.
And actually make it.
Well, is it going to be that open? Sounds like these guys are trying to establish some standards.
I think they are trying to establish some standards, but also like there's the ones they're selling to developers on this Kickstarter are rooted. So and their whole pitch is like it's totally hackable, which to me sounds like code like you won't make any money selling games on this because people will just pirate them. But I don't really know. It's an interesting idea. I don't know. I really like the idea of kind of the homebrew open source like kind of console thing. And there've been a few attempts over the years. A lot of them at handhelds, like the Open Pandora, which is like a Linux handheld with 2 dual sticks and stuff like that. But it's like $500. Or there's the Usebox, which is like this Atmel like chip-based solution 8-bit thing that people have made, Load Runner and all these like weird rip-off or clone versions of existing games for that. But it's it's an 8-bit thing. It's kind of limited. It's like a $60. It's like you're buying a breadboard and kind of putting it together yourself.
You know what I am most excited about in that vein recently?
What?
Have you seen the Raspberry Pi?
I've heard someone mentioning it as it relates to this, but I don't know what it is.
It's a $25 PC on a board.
Okay.
It does not come in a case.
All right.
People have been making their own cases. I guess some people are starting to make actual like machined ones or whatever.
Yeah.
To give you an idea of the size, it is just a hair too big to mount inside an Altoids 10.
Okay. I was going to ask, does it fit in an Altoids 10?
Almost. It'd be awesome if it did, but it's got HDMI out. It runs Linux. $25, like I said. Somebody just came up with a SNES controller adapter for it.
Right.
So like people were running emulators and stuff on it.
Yeah.
$25 for that.
And this OUYA thing seems like it would be really great for that sort of emulation stuff too on a TV. It'll probably be powerful enough to handle that sort of stuff, as well as maybe even some online play for some of those games. If maybe the 1 gig of RAM. Well, yeah, I mean maybe you could run like GGPO on it or something like that and actually get into some proper games. But they're also hoping to attract proper Android developers. Like they've got shots of the interface showing like Minecraft and Triple Town and Cannibalt and Shadowgun and some of the traditional kind of phone game stuff.
Yeah, what's the CPU in that thing? Is it ARM?
It's a Tegra 3.
Oh, is that a full
Quad
system?
core.
I thought that thing was just graphics. Is that? No, I guess that is like system on a chip. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So do you think with this being open source, somebody will figure out a way to emulate this just on a PC? Like emulate the platform?
I believe there is an Android simulator on the PC for developers to use. So
like eventually...
this is just running like some version of Android.
So just spawn a virtual Android machine on your PC and run all this stuff?
Yeah, you probably could do that.
Are you worried about missing stuff if you don't have this?
Yeah.
Like I don't see how there could be a whole lot of exclusives for this thing. Unless it just becomes ubiquitous. But even
it
then,
end up being a thing that I imagine the people that are already developing for Android, will develop some stuff for this.
That's what I'm saying.
And see how it does. I
can see that stuff trickling down from other platforms,
right?
But I can't see a lot of stuff being developed solely for this. And never.
They kind of say. So
platform.
they funded really quickly on this thing. They were looking for $950K, and this launched this morning, and they're up to $1.3 million. So it's kind of like who knows how far they'll go in it. And one of the things they say, kind of depending on how far over they go, is like, maybe we could fund some first-party development on this thing. But this thing, it kind of gets like back to one of my problems with Kickstarter is that these guys clearly have a business plan. It's like some people you've heard of are working on it.
Isn't Ed Freeze in there?
I believe he is involved. Yeah, it's like. Someone who was worked on the one laptop per child program, doing like interface work and stuff like that. Like they're touting names, like, oh, we got this guy to do it, and we got this guy. Like it's not just some hobbyist thing coming together where they're like, oh, we really need this $1 million to make it happen, or it's not going to happen. It's like, no, we're at the end of the road, and to get the rest of the way, we need to get this money. But instead of generating a proper business plan and getting funding the old-fashioned way, we decided to just get it from the people because it's cheaper.
Well, they're basically taking pre-orders at this point.
Yeah, they are. But I don't know. Like it's just kind of, it goes against what I feel like the spirit of Kickstarter is in a lot of
like we
ways.
couldn't do this without you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the people out here pledging to this aren't making it a reality. It's already a prototype. They've got footage of it. It's the thing exists. They've come too far at this point.
I mean, they're asking for $1 million, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a lot.
Well, yeah, but I think
in the grand scheme of things, no, it's not.
You're saying they probably could have got VC or something.
These guys are of such a stature in the business world that they could have taken care of that,
or maybe possibly have the contacts to ask.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. People to come in. Yeah, like, maybe, but
get another investor to buy in. Give up some equity.
That's a pretty risky investment.
I don't know that. I don't see anything off-putting about creating a direct transaction between you and your user base.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, they've got base levels that are just like reserve your username before launch.
That one was a little iffy because you don't even get a console out of that one,
right? Yeah. So
and then
like the pre-order thing, yeah, I get that. Like that's sometimes the Kickstarter ends up being like a good way to distribute stuff. Penny Arcade launched their thing today about removing ads from the site through Kickstarter. I think that's fine because it's a pretty direct cause and effect thing. Like, if we make this money, we'll do this, and that's all totally doable. And if it doesn't happen, it just won't happen. Then they'll continue on as they're not trying to say like we're in dire straits when they're really not.
They said straight up, we'll go back to our ad model if this doesn't work out.
Yeah. I think that's fine, but I don't know.
I'm still just kind of confused as to where this fits into the kind of game playing market. Like what hole is this filling?
Right.
I don't think it really.
Is it a convenience thing? Is it just if you don't have like your PC hooked up to your TV?
It's not going to run like full on PC games. It's not capable. It's not that capable of a machine.
Yeah.
But like,
and also it's running Android, so it's
so like, is this going to be a platform basically for like bootleg like NES games and SNES games and running Nesticle or something on it? And is that going to be its main drive? And it'll come free with like 5 kind of Arkanoid clones.
They say, yeah. I mean, that's yes. Probably, but also they've got a model in place where they'll be able to have a store on the system. They're saying, I mean, they say all games are free to play, which is a way of saying like all games will have a demo version, and then you can pay real money for the actual game, or some of them will actually be free to play in the free to play model sense of microtransactions and stuff like that. And there probably will be some games that are just free because it is just an app store like you'd have on an Android phone or like that type of marketplace type setup. But yeah, just having the caption to this be all games free to play. Like, no, it's like saying every Xbox Live Arcade game is free to play. Not true. Deceptive at best.
Where's the Phantom Kickstarter?
Right, yeah.
When do I get my lap board?
Yeah. They sell those lap boards. They
still
do.
They still do?
That's the only thing they actually put out was the lap board. So if you want a Phantom lap board, I can get you a Phantom lap board.
But no Phantom?
No Phantom.
Not yet.
No, not yet. That's still coming. That's still Gizmondo 2 also in the works. So that's pretty much it for news.